Hey, football fans, welcome back to another episode of Lions Latest, the show where we gather around to talk about the greatest team in the NFL, the Detroit Lions. I'm your host, Bryan Hanes, and we have some unfortunate news and some good news to talk about, so let's jump straight to this video. Before that, though, please, if you haven't already, consider going down and hitting subscribe. If you do that, you'll be updated on all the things we put out on this channel about the Lions postseason. Whether you're a fan or just a football fan looking to stay informed, make sure you go and hit subscribe. With that being said, though, let's get straight into this video. Starting with some unfortunate news, guys. Skipper, the fan favorite Detroit Lions offensive tackle, known for all of that crazy stuff he's done in the receiving game, announced his retirement via Instagram on Thursday afternoon. He harkened back to one of his most infamous moments while making the announcement, reporting as retired. After 2023, the Lions Cowboys game ended in controversy. Skipper's cult hero status took off in Detroit. Every time after that moment, when the announcer would then say, he's eligible, every time number 70 is reported as eligible, the Ford Field crowd would just go crazy. He quoted, 24 years of putting on pads and a helmet every fall. This year, I'll trade that to pursue a career on the other side in coaching. The memories and experiences that the NFL have brought me and my family are hard to put into words. Thankful for every person that has been a part of my journey. It's time for me to report as retired. Sorry, had to do it one last time, end quote. So yeah, a little bit of humor there for us, but it is a long career that he has to put to rest now, and he has been very, very valuable for us. He's 31. He went undrafted out of Arkansas. He got a start in the NFL with the Cowboys, which is a nice touch in hindsight, the fact that all the controversy started against the Cowboys. His first stint started with the Lions back in 2017. Skipper spent time with several franchises on the practice squad or offseason rosters in that time, but only his only NFL regular season playing time came in Detroit and the Houston Texans. The Houston Texans was in 2019. During his college days at Arkansas, though, Skipper hosted former Lions center Frank Ragnow on a recruiting trip before becoming teammates there and in Detroit as well. Skipper spent most of his 9-year career with the Lions, earning his spot as a trusted sixth man off the bench more times than not. I mean, he was the kind of guy you could look to and go, all right, let's go, Skip. And if he went on, me as a fan and many other fans I knew were always kind of like, okay, it's Skip. We're all right. And it adds another offseason worry for the Lions. That's the bad part about this, who already need tackle and guard depth, and we're still waiting on to hear whether or not Decker's going to retire. So there's still that need of we got to go grab a tackle in this upcoming draft. Wow, we go. Dan Campbell also loves Skip. He loved what he brought to the team, and he loved his energy. He said, quote, he's a different breed of man. He's something else. He does a good job, man. I'll tell you what. He's dependable now. He's reliable, dependable, and he does a lot for us, end quote. So, I mean, he was loved by the organization. He was loved by the fans. He was loved by the head coach. He was the kind of guy you really do want on your team. And he really did lay it all out on the field. I mean, you remember him throwing up after a game when he had to play most of the game. But he laid it all out every single time. He was the kind of guy you could absolutely rely on. I think it's great that it's not the end of Dan Skipper, though. He said he's in his retirement statement that he is going to try to go to coaching. And at this point, he's got some rank in Detroit. I would say it wouldn't be surprising if he gets some kind of small role on our coaching staff next year, but I know he is doing some high school stuff right now. Thank you, Dan Skipper. I appreciate everything you've done for this organization. I know all the fans do. And enjoy your retirement, brother. Next, we are going to go into some lighter news with 3 players that actually will fit this new OC plan perfectly. I think now the fact that we have an OC, it doesn't mean our offense isn't going to change entirely. I think we're still going to stick to our strengths, hopefully, but I think there will be some new tendencies as well. After reviewing how the Vikings and Cardinals operated over the years with Petzing, I think there's some key strategical tendencies we see from him, and they're going to highlight how he's going to be able to utilize this offense. So starting with Jahmyr Gibbs, and I feel like he could be utilized on any offense really because of how great he is, but he records explosive plays at any time when his number is called. But it's going to be really fascinating to see how Petzing utilizes the speedy running back in terms of the passing game. Now, reviewing his film highlights, Petzing shows the ability to get running backs out in flats in a multiple of unique methods in the past, including initially through the A gap. Now, now listen, this sounds all great in practice, but this was also something we were really excited with Morton, but it never really fully materialized. In his first 2 seasons of Arizona, though, the Cardinals did produce an attack rushing of 2,365 yards in 2023 and 2,451 yards in 2024. An average of 5.29 yards per carry in 2024 was a Cardinals franchise record. It's clear fans and staff want to utilize this up-and-coming great more. We thought it was going to be done with Morton, and then we had some O-line issues. Then there were some Morton play calling issues. Please go draft O-line, and please, Petzing, do what everyone's saying you're going to do, because it would be awesome if that's the case, and it would be a huge kind of, hey, don't judge a book by its cover kind of deal. But we're just going to have to wait and see until it happens. The next guy I want to talk about is St. Brown. Now, look, he's great. He's been great. He's going to continue to be great. I don't think there's a problem with St. Brown. I don't think he's necessarily great on a certain guy's offense. I think he could go to any team and be an immediate impact. But I think he can still get better. For a duration of his time in Minnesota, Petzing served as the team's wide receivers coach as well. In 2019, Stefon Diggs had a career season, if you may remember. He recorded 1,130 receiving yards and averaged 75.3 yards per game. Now, St. Brown may be better than Stefon Diggs. In fact, I'm willing to say right now he is, but in his prime, is St. Brown better than Stefon Diggs? I don't know. You guys let me know right now, but personally, I think so. And if the fact that Stefon Diggs can get that kind of a crazy season with, this guy running some part of the offense, right? That gives me some high expectations for this next season. Now, it is expected that St. Brown will continue to be the featured offensive target in Petzing's offense. The challenge inherently is going to be also how to work in Jamison Williams in that speedy long game and Isaac Tesla in his up-and-coming big body game. If the run game is opened up as well with Gibbs, it's only going to mean more stuff for St. Brown. The only worry I have is how he's going to include all of our receivers, but I have no worry about St. Brown. And finally, a guy we've talked about a lot because I think it's a clear comparison from his time in Arizona, Sam Laporta. During his 3-year tenure in Arizona, Petzing utilized 11 personnel 53.7% of the time, 12 personnel 25.9% of the time, and 13 personnel on 12.5% of play calls. Ahead of the Steelers game, head coach Dan Campbell was also asked about some teams going back to utilizing 3 tight end sets more, including in the AFC North squad. Campbell said to this, "I think you're going to always you always got your own philosophy, what you believe in. You can never go too far away from that. But I think we will go with a spread offense next year. That's what we are going to do. We're going 4 wides, have our quarterback, and we're good." Campbell joked, of course. You're asking me that today, so no, you got to keep up with you keep up with all that stuff. End quote. So basically, Campbell's saying, "Hey, I'm not going to give you what we're going to do right away. That would be bad coaching." But of course, I think he kind of knows what he's getting with him, right? As reported by multiple outlets, Cardinals tight end Trey McBride emerges one of the league's stars this season and the last couple of seasons, not to mention. In 2024, McBride secured 111 passes for 1,146 yards. That's with Wilson and Harrison Jr. playing as well. The fact that you got stars in the receiving game and your tight end still eating like that almost sounds to me like the Sam Laporta rookie season, right? You still got St. Brown on the field. J-Mo's in there somewhere. Even when Josh Reynolds was on the field, Josh Reynolds was a key contributor. But you still got Sam Laporta making those big plays, and that's what I want to see him get back to. But I don't think he can really get back to all of that, especially with a back injury, maybe without some help, and I think I got the perfect guy to fit that position for you guys. Now, there's a veteran tight end who's about to be a free agent, and I think he could just be the perfect addition to our team. So if the Lions are serious about fully unlocking our offense with our new coordinator, I think there's a free agent that just screams we need to grab him right now. And that's David Njoku. Now, this isn't just about adding another weapon to our offense. It's about the new scheme we're going to want to cook up, protection for Jared Goff, and maximizing what we already do best as an offensive unit. Like we've mentioned before, Petzing is known for his heavy use of 13-man personnel, 1 running back, 3 tight ends, and 1 wide receiver. It's a formation built to stress defenses, especially linebackers, and force mismatches, and keep opponents guessing between power runs or play-action shots, another thing that we know Petzing has a record of doing. To run that system at a high level, though, you need more than one reliable tight end in your set. You need multiple players who can both block efficiently and threaten the seam with their receiving game, win the red zone, and stay on the field without tipping the play call or giving anything away, right? Now, I think that's Njoku in a nutshell from what we've seen in his career. At 6'4" and nearly 250 pounds, he not only has the size to play in line and be able to block, pass rushers at an effective rate, but he also has the athleticism to split out wide or work in the slot as a very shifty receiver at his size. In a Petzing offense that values versatility and physicality from their tight ends, and Njoku just fits the vision to a T. The best part, too, he may want out of Cleveland, man. I wouldn't blame him either. They're in yet another rebuilding scenario after losing their head coach, and there's all these questions at quarterback. I wouldn't want any part of this as a receiving tight end. Laporta and him would also just work perfectly, especially with him still being in a recovery from a back injury that could linger into this next season and the early part of the 2026 season. With both on the field, though, defenses would have to make impossible decisions with guarding, right? Double Laporta, or do you leave Njoku with a one-on-one? Do you leave Laporta with a one-on-one? Bracket Njoku and allow Laporta to roam free? Either way, Detroit would be creating mismatches almost every time we run this set, right? Njoku has been a long-term problem in the red zone for teams, using his size, strength, and leaping ability to be catching insane catches, making these ones where he just does like backflips after he catches it. His athleticism is crazy, especially for his age. And I think him paired along with the already star we have in Sam Laporta would just go crazy. I think the fact that this formation would also do a lot for our play calling, right? I think the Lions have one of the most dangerous two tight end combinations in the NFL if we get him, and especially off play action where linebackers and safeties are forced to make a leap to one side. They have to make that guess sometimes. And play action is just another thing Petzing has emphasized with his play calling in the past. I think the Lions just hired an offensive coordinator who loves living in the heavy tight end sets and those formations. And while that could be great for us, there's always the worry that we don't get JMO enough touches or we don't get Tesla enough touches, right? Because then it is mostly going to be St. Brown as that receiver. I think it could work perfectly in moderation, and it would be an offense built to just punish mismatches in this league. I love it. I think the only problem is we're going to have to surrender some picks that we're going to want to use in the trenches. That is if the Browns even want to resign Njoku. I think if not, though, he could be a perfect free agent target, and it could just be somebody that the Lions grab and make our whole division a lot scarier just by us having him. So I yapped a little bit about David Njoku, but I personally love this idea. You guys go in the comments and let me know right now what you think about it. And now on our fourth and final topic, just some of your comments. Official Grinding Gear says, some things I heard about the new OC via reputable sources. One, via 97.1, the official Detroit sports channel. Drew Petzing was close to Ben Johnson. They both coached under each other. He's attended Ben's wedding. 2, St. Brown came out in the podcast and told people not to worry. And then 3, do you have Drew Petzing looks like Lex Luthor. So yes, you're correct. He does look like Lex Luthor. He looks like a lot of people. I've been seeing everything on Instagram. But yeah, worked with Ben Johnson. We said the same thing about Morton. I don't want to go too much into those little details. It scares me. Morton was apparently the one who trained up Ben Johnson, and we saw what happened. So I don't want to go too much into that, but yeah, I know what St. Brown said. I'm gonna trust in my players. I'm gonna trust in my staff, and be mad when I have to. Right? We're gonna wait for now. But thank you for your comment. And Captain Shriver says, except for Penei Sewell, the Detroit Lions offensive line should have been arrested for treason and sedation against Jared Goff, and the fact that they didn't open up lanes enough for Gibbs and Montgomery to do their thing. Yeah, I know. I think guys stressing the fact now that a skipper is officially gone. Decker it's only a matter of time, in my opinion. Or if he comes back next year, he's just going to be more injured and that step slower that we already know, right? We need to draft a tackle. I know some of you guys think maybe the guard's the right way. No, we need to go out and grab the center right away. We need a tackle. I'm serious, guys. But seriously, you let me know in the comments what you truly think, because I do want to hear what your guys are thinking. I don't want to be the only one having opinions. With that being said, though, thank you so much for your comments. We are out of time today for this video. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Lions Latest. If you made it to this point in the video, let me know in the comments right now what your favorite memory of Dan Skipper is. With that being said, though, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you never miss a single video here. Enjoy the rest of your day, and we will see you in the next one.